Hello. So let's look at these numbers. Can I present? I don't think so. So I'd have to blow up my screen um a bit. Now these are numbers for H1 2025 numbers for Fidelity Bank. So let's start with gross earnings 748.7 billion naira in gross earnings, up 45.9%. That's essentially up 46% compared to last year. So I mean the numbers are good. The weak part, yes, you might see profit after tax is down 17% and all that, but really you can attribute that to a big bounce in operating expenses. Operating expenses went up sharply. There was a big bounce in legal expenses. Obviously, AMCON levy went up. That tends to get paid in the second quarter. So, yeah, what do you have? 132.3 billion naira in profit after tax, down 17% from last year. Any special down, obviously, because you have the decline in profit, and of course, you have a bigger number of shares. So, any special of 2 naira 64, cover down 47% from last year. So clearly, I think the numbers are fair. Now, my view on the firm, and I can go there, is I think that this firm is probably it's a hold for me, and it's simply because it's trading just marginally under book value. As you can see, book value per share is 19.4. The stock's just trading slightly under that. So it's a hold for me. I'm waiting for 9 months 2025 numbers for the bank. A hold is neither buy or sell, but as always, please do your own research. This is not investment or trading advice. So let's come to a dividend forecast. Now, the firm, a lot of people were disappointed with no interim dividend. It's quite simple why they didn't pay an interim dividend. You have negative retained earnings of 74.1 billion as of H1 2025. Now, the company did give some explanation in the notes. I think it's a regulatory thing. CBN asked them to pay up some money in order to meet up the statutory reserves with them. That's my own interpretation of the notes that they shared. I'm sure they'll probably do a call when they drop their 9 month 2025 numbers, and after that, would get a bit more clarity. So, in my view, I think that they can maintain, do maybe H2 2025 180 billion in profit after tax. So if you net off the negative retained earnings, you end up with 105.8 billion. Now, outstanding shares, number of shares the firm has is 50.2 billion. So outstanding shares, 50.2 billion outstanding shares. So if you do the division, you have a retained earnings per share of 2 naira and 10 kobo. Now, in my view, the final 2025 dividend, final dividend, or essentially 2025 dividend, because they're not paying an interim, it's going to be somewhere between 50 kobo to 1 naira a share. I actually think 1 naira is a bit aggressive. If this firm, there's no way, in my view, the CBN would sign off on this bank paying out 50% of its earnings, retained earnings. There's no way that's going to happen. So I think maybe they'll be lucky, they'll be able to do what, maybe 25-30% of retained earnings. So if you work out that number, you probably have 10% of 2.1 is 20 kobo. So maybe they'll do somewhere between 50 to 60 kobo in earnings, dividend for FY 2025. Now, please note that they still have some capital to raise. When they are done with the capital raise, that's going to reduce earnings per share, reduce retained earnings per share. So clearly, that also comes into play for the maths. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Short video, yes, it is about 4 minutes for 15 seconds. I'd see you in 3.5 hours with the midday trading update. Stay safe.